Hi, it's Lucy here, and today I'm comparing different cutting options like knife blades, rotary trimmers, and guillotine cutters, and to help you find the best fit for your crafting. And of course, I'll create a couple of cards too. So let's jump right in with the first one. And first up is my craft knife and blades. I love using a simple knife and ruler. And the one I use looks just like the Classic X-Acto Gripster, though mine was a gift, which I've had for a long time, and it has no brand name on it. And for blades, I usually go with the XL number 11 blades, which you can find on Amazon, but they can be very pricey. I've found number 11 blades from a quality brand at a reasonable price, and I've linked them along with the other items I'm testing in the video description. Next up is the Uniquely Creative Quick Trim Mini Guillotine, and this is a compact, lightweight cutter, perfect if you don't have much craft desk space. It gives straight, clean cuts on paper and cardstock, and the non-slip base helps keep it steady. It also has both metric and imperial measurements for easy sizing. And since the cutting base is 4 by 6 inches, it's best for card makers who mostly work with smaller pieces. It's priced at $28.50 US or $45 Australian. But here's a little not so secret. Uniquely Creative only has 2 sales a year, and one is coming up in May for Mother's Day. And in past years, they've offered store-wide discounts plus Aussie free shipping, though I can't guarantee it'll be exactly the same this year. But if you're on a budget and can wait a few weeks, I'm sure this is good information to know. And then next up is the Fiskars Shortcut Deluxe 12-inch paper trimmer, and it has a wire cut line. I don't find this cuts through as thoroughly as the others. I've had this for a long time. The base is nice and wide for stability, and there's a swing out arm that extends past 15 inches, so you can easily cut larger papers. The built-in grid and measurement markings help with accuracy. Plus it's lightweight and portable, so it's great if you craft on the go. And a few things to keep in mind: replacement blades aren't included, so you'll need to grab extras, and I found that I went through quite a few when I was using it. Also, while the wire guide is useful, over time it can loosen or shift slightly with a lot of use. I'm using 300 GSM cardstock, which is very thick, to show how it cuts heavy materials. And as you can see on this Fiskars cutter, it went through okay on the dark green card, but as I used it a couple more times, the blade kept getting caught in the same position. I did check to see if there was any obstruction there, but there wasn't. My personal thoughts on this trimmer is it's not for me. I've barely used it and I've had it for a long time. It can tear thin papers and it doesn't cut through thick papers that well. It's priced around $42.99 US dollars or 68 Australian dollars, and I will have it linked below in case you are interested in it. And please don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of my Fiskars scissors. Okay, this is the American Crafts paper trimmer, and while it's no longer available, I'll still share my thoughts in case you come across one secondhand or are looking at similar styles. It's a heavy duty trimmer, and one of its standout features is the interchangeable blades, so you can switch between straight cuts and decorative edges. And it even has a scoring blade, which is great for making folded lines without cutting. Another plus is that it has both centimeters and inches, making measuring more flexible. But now for the downsides, mine has never been totally aligned, which made precision a bit tricky. For the first inch, there's no border or ledge to butt the paper up against, which makes it less ideal for cutting small pieces accurately. It's also bulky, and to be honest, I just never really got along with it, so I rarely used this one either. And since it's discontinued, I wouldn't go out of my way to track one down, but if you already have one, I wonder if you agree with me. Next up, I have a die cutter from In Love Arts, and this one is new to me, so I haven't used it much yet. But I've decided to keep this one and pass some of my other cutters along to crafting groups. This is a multifunctional cutting and creasing machine, meaning it can cut, fold, and score. It has both centimeters and inches along the cut line, as well as one type on each side of the board. It's lightweight at 550 grams, but it's still sturdy and folds down for easy storage. which is great if you don't have a lot of space. It can cut up to 8 to 10 sheets of 80 GSM A4 paper at once with a 310 millimeter cutting width. So at least it does any A4 sheets and any 12 by 12 papers. I have a 25% discount code you can use for all products at In Love Art. So this then comes down to 48 Australian dollars, 30 US dollars, and 25 pounds. Plus they have free international shipping as well. I'll also be using a fairy die set from In Love Arts in a card I'm making in a moment. So keep watching. The die set is beautiful. Then I'll also make a mail card too. Not with the fairies though. Next up is a generic style guillotine, which is what I had been using to cut my card bases, as I prefer guillotines to rotary cutters. I think they have a much cleaner cut, but honestly I wouldn't recommend this one. While it might work for general paper trimming, this guillotine calls itself a 12-inch by 10.4-inch paper cutter, but it doesn't cut past an A4 size, which is also known as a business letter size, and so it leaves the end with a torn piece if you're trying to cut a 12 by 12 piece of paper. It also doesn't always cut straight, which isn't great for cutting card bases and paper cutting in general. And this is why I've never linked it or suggested it as a good option. It can cut up to 12 sheets of 70 GSM paper and has size guides for A4, A5 and other formats. The blade is designed to cut without tearing, and it does cut well, and so I'll be happy to give it to a local card making group. Which brings me to my last one, and it is fantastic. I've recently got my hands on this VEVOR Guillotine paper cutter, and for me it's a game changer. As you can see, it's quite big, but I have room at the end of my desk for it. If you don't have the space, it's easy to store. You can just pop it on its side and slide it up against your desk or wall. And for those in the US, there's also smaller and larger guillotine options available. It has a blade lock, so it's safe around children. I use this one now for cutting all my card bases because it's got a super long cutting length and the blade is perfectly straight. I love it. One of the things I love about it is how easy it is to use. It has a magnetic alignment ruler and a paper clamp to help you line things up perfectly. And the paper clamp just comes up once you pull the lever up all the way. And the ergonomic handle makes it comfortable to grip as well. It can handle up to 16 sheets at once, and it cuts up to 15 inches in length, so it's perfect for big paper sizes and multiple layers. Another thing I really appreciate about the VEVOR Guillotine paper cutter is that it has cutting sizes printed right on it, both in landscape and portrait orientation. This is a huge plus for me since I'm not a fan of having to find measurements, especially when it comes to parts of inches. Having everything right there makes it so much easier and quicker to line things up perfectly, and I'll be doing that on a card in a moment. The cutter is made from tough steel, so it's built to last, and the metal base keeps it stable while you work. It also has non-slip feet, so it won't slide around while you're cutting. It's available in both Australia and the US with free shipping within a week. I've actually gone on their site and it said that it would be delivered on the weekend. They also have Afterpay or Klarna payment options if you'd like to spread out your payments. I have a 5% discount code in the description box along with the product links, and it's usually $47.99 US dollars or $45.59 US with the 5% discount, and $63.99 Australian dollars or just over $60 Australian with the 5% discount. I think this is a great value option in comparison to some of the similar cutters from well-known craft brands out there, and especially because it offers free shipping too. I also use and recommend their die cutting machines. I'm sure you've seen them in my videos. I have both the small 6-inch and large 9-inch versions, and they've been great additions to my craft room. And the 5% discount also applies to them, so I'll link them below too, just in case you're interested. And so onto a couple of cards now, and I'm actually going to use my VEVOR 6-inch die cutting machine to cut out the fairies. And these are the fairies I mentioned before from In Love Arts. They're $8.30 US or $14 Australian, but don't forget I have a 25% off discount code for them. My card base lines up perfectly with the A6 size printed on the guillotine, so I know that if I cut my paper to the same size, I'll get a perfect fit. I'll add the paper to my card front with double-sided tape, and isn't this a beautiful sheet of paper? This is going to be a simple but beautiful card, just taking minutes to create. And I'll bend the fairy and their wings so they don't sit flat on the card. I'll glue their wings to their bodies, and we'll add a couple of adhesive foam hexagons to the fairies, but none are required on their wings. With the smaller fairy, I'll glue her wing to the card itself, but just at the tip behind her back. I'll add the fairy with foam dots as well, then I can add a lace flower and a sentiment, which almost finishes the card. I'll just add some Nouveau drops too. And you could definitely keep adding more details, but I love how the fairies and background paper work together so simply. And I actually used these fairies on a really fancy card for my daughter's birthday. I'll be posting that video soon. She's 25, but she specifically wanted a fairy card. It wasn't my idea, and it was perfect timing since I had just received these dies. Now onto a masculine card, and I love how this one turns out. This is going to be for my brother-in-law. I used this washi sticker book in my recent Easter video, and I really love how they create an instant background. So this time I'm using just 3 pieces on white card to build the base, and I'll add some brown distress oxide ink, focusing on the areas where the white card shows, since I didn't really worry about perfectly aligning the stickers. And once I've cut the piece to shape, I'll ink around the edges for a more finished look. I have 2 packets of ephemera here, and I'll link around their edges too to tie everything together. And the brown tape measures and number plates are still available, so I'll link everything I'm using in the description box below. I originally planned to use this craft paper sentiment, so I inked it to add some texture, but it didn't stand out enough when I put it on the card. So instead I die cut the sentiment again from a darker brown card and layered them together for better contrast. And now I'll keep shifting the ephemera around until I'm happy with the placement, then glue everything down. Sometimes I'm adding a bit of scrap card underneath for dimension. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Did it help you decide if you're using the best cutting tool for your needs? Or if you're new to crafting, did it give you an idea of what might work best for you? I hope so. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it with any friends who you think might find it helpful. And to access all the product links and discount codes, just click on the word more in the description box. I'll show an example on screen. If you choose to shop through my links, I'll receive a small commission at no extra cost to you. Plus you get the discounts, which is a great way to support my channel while getting products that I truly love, and I know you will too. So I'll be back soon with another video, so make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. Happy crafting, and bye for now.